Hello everyone, Claire Jones from Clarifications Coaching. This is the next video in a series where I go over how my coaching practices benefit my clients, especially for women entrepreneurs. And last time I finished up what kind of specific benefits that my clients get from coaching, and today I'm going to delve into what brought me into coaching in the first place. So, I grew up in an arguably very privileged environment where both my family and the schools that I attended pretty much assumed my value. And so, that kind of environment has a pro and it has a con. The pro is that I didn't really need to assert my value that much. I didn't have to argue for it. I didn't have to fight for it. I didn't have to convince other people of my value up front. It was kind of just assumed by the environment, and people treated me as a valuable person just by being in that environment. But the con of that is that I never learned how to assert my value. I was never forced to learn those skills and learn those methods by which you can assert your value, own your value, and convince other people of your value without them having a preconceived idea of what your value actually is. And so that con kind of really hit me pretty badly after I graduated from college, because once you get into the real world, you really have to convince other people of your value, and you really have to have a good skill set in that. And coming out of college, I got into this chronic cycle of not being able to get jobs that paid me a living wage because I couldn't convince them of my value when I was doing the hiring process and the interviewing process. And I graduated into a recession nonetheless, so it made it extra hard to find these kind of jobs that paid me a living wage. It got to the point where my jobs after graduating from college paid me less per hour than the jobs that I had during the summer in my high school years. And I ended up on food stamps twice by the time I was 26 because I couldn't find jobs that paid me enough to live. I could only find hourly minimum wage jobs that barely paid me enough to feed myself, let alone pay for rent, pay for health expenses, pay for my car. And this just kind of created a chronic cycle of reinforcing my perceived lack of value because I couldn't prove to other people that I was valuable enough to hire for higher paying positions. So it's a bit backwards, don't you think, that I graduated from college with a BA and was getting less per hour than I did in high school. So, my journey since then, and what has heavily influenced my passion for personal development and coaching in particular, has been about learning how to own and assert my value in a way that communicates it to others in an effective way, in a convincing way. And learning how to not let the disappointment of others deter me from the guidance of my internal guiding system. And it's really been an interesting journey. So, my post college life has really been about finding a way of living that reflects my value and owns my value and asserts my value. And so, how I tried to do that was I opened up my first business back in 2014. It was kind of my middle finger to the world at the moment because I was very frustrated with the economy. I was very frustrated with these minimum wage hourly jobs. And I figured that if no one else would hire me for a growth oriented position or a position that even had growth opportunities, I would hire myself. I would create my own growth opportunities. I would create my own living wage jobs. Of course, it didn't end up being that way because first businesses always fail. Well, and if they don't, it's pretty spectacular if they continue on. But that's how first businesses go. It's always a learning experience. And I did learn a lot. And so that's why I love helping women entrepreneurs in particular, because I know what it's like. I've been there. I know what it's like to dream big but run into frustrations and obstacles along the way. I know what it's like to come home and feel alone and depressed and confused and frustrated and feeling like your efforts aren't paying off. And I know what it's like to struggle to assert your value, assert your business's value, assert your products and services value in a way that attracts paying customers. And so I really want to help you guys. I want to help the women entrepreneurs that are in that space and guide them along the way and let them in on all of the secrets and all of the tips and all of the methods that I've learned along the way, mainly through coaching and personal development, because it takes a lot of effort to get past those and really examine yourself and really examine your own sense of value and how you assert that in the world, as a way to actually progress towards your dreams and achieve what you like. So that's kind of why I focus on women entrepreneurs, and that's why I love working with you guys, because I know what it's like. I've been there, I'm still there, I'm still building my business, and I love to grow and learn alongside people and help them live their genius and speak their truth, because ultimately that's what's going to make things better and have future generations led by badass women. I mean, that's where we're going, right? So that's it for today. Next time I will continue on some of my own personal stories, why I got into coaching. But until then, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Instagram at Clarifications Coaching. And until then, please feel free to leave any comments or questions below, because I love hearing from you guys. What are the personal development struggles that you guys have run into? Have you ever struggled with asserting your value in the real world or in environments that don't assume what your value is from the foremost situation or foremost interaction? So let me know. Comment, questions, anything. I love hearing from you guys. So I hope you all have a great day. I love you all. Take care and have a good one.